Now, you may or may not know this, but my overall focus is to make people like yourself more effective, more productive, more focused on doing their tasks and achieving their goals. Now, this video, it could be for any level. It could be for the individual that is the aspiring entrepreneur, someone who's just getting started, or it could be for the individual that's a little bit more seasoned, that's doing millions of dollars. Because at the end of the day, there's a simple formula that you can follow. And if you follow this formula, you can basically achieve anything. Now, the formula is so simple, but at the end of the day, if you could just know it, if you could just be very conscious and aware of it, it will keep you on track to going ahead and accomplishing your goals. So make sure that you get pen and paper ready, because I want you to take notes on this so that way you have it for yourself. Because again, just by listening to this is just one thing, but making sure that you know it consciously and you're aware of it is going to allow you to go ahead and stay focused on the task. Let's get into it. Now, obviously, when I go and say task, it's the overall mission that you're on. What is the task that you're trying to accomplish? What is your overall goal? What are the desires that you're trying to reach? If you're the aspiring entrepreneur, maybe it's going from $0 to $5,000 a month online with a specific industry. Maybe it's going from 0 to 10,000, but maybe if you're a much more established business, it's going from 500,000 to $1 million per year. Whichever one it is. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the task is. It's a simple formula that you have to follow in order for you to go and achieve it. And it's so freaking simple, man. And people have it backwards. Usually they have the first step of this formula down, which is have, right? What does that even mean? Have. Understanding what you want. What is it that you want? Spelling. Understanding what you want to have. Okay, what is the havingness? And again, most people have this portion down. Everybody, like yourself, knows what it is that you want. What are the things that you want to have in life? The problem is that once they get this part of the formula down, the havingness portion, they forget about the rest of the formula. They don't do anything at all. Okay, cool. It's just wishful thinking. You want these things, you want to have all these things, but where's the action portion of it? What is it that you're actually doing in order to get to have the things that you want? And in order to get to that step, knowing what you want to have is a critical step. But in order for you to actually get to that point, you need to do the other parts of the step, if that makes sense. So that is step number one. What is it that you want to have? Figure that out. Okay, what is it that you want? And most people get this portion down. So again, most people have this part of the formula down, but they neglect the rest. Well, Prince, what is the rest of the formula? Very simple formula, as you can see, BDH. BDH stands for be, do, and have. And this is the step-by-step process in order for you to get to have. I told you it was simple. It's nothing, there's no rocket science here. There's nothing wildly insane in order for you to understand. But having this awareness is going to allow you to go ahead and get yourself into motion. How is that? Well, once you go ahead and understand what you want to have, okay, then who's the person you need to become? Who's the beingness that you need to become in order to have those things? Okay, Prince, that seems pretty simple enough. You need to know what to have, so that way you know who you need to be, who you need to become. I don't think you really understand the importance of this. Here's why. I could just erase this, but most people, they figure out what they want to have, and let's just say there's the be, do portion of it over here, and again, they neglect this portion. They don't even think about it anymore. They want to have X thing, but they forget about this, but sometimes they'll remember a doing this portion. They want to have these things, so they might go into some level of action on doing this, but that is not the formula. The formula is be, do, have. In order for you to know what you need to do, which is the middle portion of the formula, you first need to know what you want to have, then you need to know who you want to become. Because once you know what you want to have and you know the person you need to become to have those things, you can start to create the tasks, you could say, in order to do. The doingness portion in order to achieve the havingness. I'm going to try to explain this even further, because this be, do, have thing does have different layers to it if you want to understand it, okay? Why is it not like this? Why is it not do, be, then have, okay? The reason why it's not like this, the reason why it's not do, be, have, and it's be, do, have, is because a lot of the times people, once they start doing, they neglect the beingness portion and try to skip straight to have. But if you look at the current person that you are right now, let's just say that's somebody that's making $2,000 a month or $1 million a month. Whichever person that you are, in order for you to start having that next level, you have to change the person that you are. Because the beingness that you're at for 2,000 or $1 million is going to change first. So if the person you are, the beingness that you are at $1 million, and you want to go ahead and get to 10 million, the person that you are right now, the beingness that you are, is going to change. Okay? And once that changes, the way you do things will change. Simply by knowing the person that you need to become. Who does that person actually look like in the future? Let's go ahead and erase this. Now here's another way some people mix up the formula. Have, do, and then you become. This is a self-explanatory thing, and if you don't understand what I'm about to say, pause the video, go rewatch it, take notes on it, sketch it out. Sometimes it's easier for people to sketch it out. You can't have the formula like this. You can't reverse the formula. You can't have, do, and then become. Simply think about it. It's so simple. The have is the want. That's what you want. You can't have that thing first. Like, let's just say you're at $1 million and you want to get to 10 million. You're not magically at 10 million and then you're going to start doing the things to get to 10 million. It doesn't make sense. And then you become the person to have that 10 million. It doesn't make sense because you already have the 10 million. And we already know that it doesn't work like that, right? It doesn't work like that. You can't just, cool, here's the 10 million. Then you do the things to get the 10 million, then you become that person. There's no logic. I always tell people this: if you try to make a logic out of an illogic, you're just gonna have a headache. It doesn't make sense. And to be honest, that's a completely different video that we could go ahead and get into on illogic and trying to make logics out of it. But as you can see here, you can't mix up the formula. You can't do the have, do, become. You can't have do, have, become. You can't do have, become, do. The beingness is the first part of the formula. Okay, so enough of this. What can you do to actually use this formula? Again, get your have down. Understand what you want to have, okay? You see it. Now, the person that holds this, the person that has all these things, what does that person look like? What's their being? Who are they? How do they operate? How do they walk? How do they talk? What do you need to become in order to have this? Okay? Then you can do the beingness. Then you can have the doing portion, okay? So once you see it, you know what your havingness is, what is of the person that has these things, and the doing. We're going to get into that in just a second. You can't get to the having without the doing. You can't be a person without the doing, okay? It's in the middle for a reason. So once you know what your beingness is, once you know what you want to have, start acting like that person today, as if you do have those things, okay? This is why it's the first part of the formula. Start being that person that deserves to have those things or already has those things. Who does that person look like? What do they walk like? What do they dress like? Be that person. Now, if you could be that person, you can now ask yourself, what would that person be doing? What is the ness of that person? What's their day-to-day look like? What are the tasks that they're looking to accomplish? What's their mission? How are they operating their team? How are they communicating? What is the doingness? And you can basically schedule out your doingness. And this goes into the other videos that I have. If you want to be a certain person, you want to be the person that's a multi-millionaire, making $10 million a year, $1 million a year, whatever that looks like to you. You look at the person's beingness and their actions, their doingness. Do you think any of those people are scrolling mindlessly on TikTok for hours on end? Which I know a lot of people do, and I'm sure maybe you do it as well. And that's not an attack on you. It's a lot of people are doing that. And if you want to figure out a way on how you could slowly eliminate those things out of your life so that way you could be more productive, because again, that's what this channel is all about, making you more effective as a being, then there's a video in the description below. You can go ahead and click on that and it'll take you to the video on how you can go ahead and eliminate some of the things that might be distracting you on being the person that you need to be and doing those things, so that way you can have that, okay? So again, very simple formula. Being leads to doingness, and this, my friends, lead to havingness. Okay, by understanding this formula and being conscious and aware of it, it's going to allow you to make sure that, okay, cool, here are all the things that I want to have. Who's the person that I need to be? Who do I need to operate as daily, and what would that person be doing so that we can have those things? Okay, remember guys, keep going. You're closer than you